my pack, my tribe. Sorry, I am late tonight. Uh, had a small issue with my alarm clock, but here I am, ready to go. We got a really cool show tonight, by the way. Last this last weekend, we had the first ever Ohio Paranormal Gathering, and it was a huge uh, deal. I think. I would say, as far as I'm concerned, it definitely was uh, a very huge deal. Um, there were a lot of great teams there, a lot of really cool, a lot of really cool people from all over Ohio and all over the country showed up, including Teresa Argy, um, who was some may remember she was a part of a team they called the Haunted Housewives that competed on the Zach Bagans Show Paranormal Challenge. Was there, which was really cool. And uh, the guest I was going to have on tonight, also Jose Amasquita the second, is the leader of a group called HPI, or Historical Paranormal Investigators. Unfortunately, because of work issues and everything, he couldn't actually be here tonight. So what I did is I went ahead and interviewed him and recorded it for the show tonight. So, very cool. One second, folks. I'm trying to get everything squared away here. Bear with me. Here we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to remind everyone that the show's on right now, so one second. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the the first part of this interview for you. I asked him a lot of the typical interview questions, also, but I think we hit on some things that folks may find surprising. So, find the file here real quick, and I will get this going. Go. And without further ado, here's the interview with Jose from HPI. Good, bud. For my listeners, I'm on the phone right now with Jose Amasquita. Am I saying that right?
Yep, Jose Amasquita II. That's correct, sir.
With Historical Paranormal Investigators.
Yes.
I said that right? It's investigators, not investigations.
That's correct, investigators. Yeah, we get that a lot.
Yeah, okay. So, you guys are based out of Sandusky area, aren't you?
Actually, we are based out of Upper Sandusky, which is about an hour away from Sandusky, and it's actually the lower part. So people get confused when I say Upper Sandusky. They think I'm thinking, oh, Cedar Point. We love that. Like, we do too. That's about an hour away.
Yeah. That is a little confusing. You would think Upper would be like north.
Right. It's how the river flows, actually. I don't know how many times that I had people stop by my parents' home and see me out in the yard working or something, and they would stop and say, hey, where's Cedar Point at? I'm like, oh, you're not that far away, just an hour away. And it'd be crazy because they're like, we thought it was located around here. No, this is Upper Sandusky, not Sandusky. Sorry, sir.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, for my listeners that don't know you, tell us a little bit about your group and, like, what you guys do.
Okay, HBI was founded by my aunt, Gail Searles, back in November of 2011. And we were part of a paranormal group prior to that, but we decided to depart ways and start our own group, and Gail founded HPI. And since we was founded, HPI, Historical Paranormal Investigators, has been to a lot of residential places, a lot of historical places. Since we do have historical in our name, we take a lot of investigations very serious. We like to go in depth on the history of either if it's residential or a historical site. So when we go in there, we're not going blinded. We pretty much know the in and outs of our investigations before it even starts. And so that helps us out. In certain situations, like if we need trigger objects, or we need to know person's names and stuff to see if we can get in contact with the people down at that location to help us out, get more evidence with our equipment that we possess, which is a lot from digital dowsing with Bill Chappell and amongst other high-tech equipment that we like to use during our investigations. We basically, HPI, what we like to do is we like to have what I like to call multiple when we go scientific fishing, because you don't know what type of device a spirit will be able to help you communicate with them. So we like to have a certain type of device for any type of situation inside the building or residence so we can communicate, because it would be easier that way for us to do that. So we have multiple pieces of equipment for video and audio and personal experiences inside buildings so we can give the evidence and find the evidence that we need for the people that allowed us to go inside there and investigate for them.
Right. You guys are a little bit like me in a way, because I'm really about the history.
Oh, yes, that's what makes it so special. It's like you're in contact with history. Like if you get like a piece of evidence from the other side of something that happened there that's historical, you are actually also a part of history, being in contact with whatever is going on there. And sometimes, you know, if it's a good thing, you know, that's an honor to be able to be in contact with someone who is there in another spiritual realm. We are involved in right now shooting a pilot TV series. We've shot a couple episodes. What I can tell you about that what I'm allowed to tell you is one of the episodes is at the Haunted Bisman building located in Mansfield, Ohio. Ben Bisman, he is a great guy. I'm not just saying that because, I've worked with him and we've done investigations with him, but he is actually a cool, down-to-earth dude.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
I know.
Yeah,
I actually, I've worked with, well, I haven't worked with him so much, but, I know him a little bit, because of, the team I used to belong to. They've worked with him and do work with him still quite a bit. He is a really cool, laid-back dude.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect that from someone. He has a nice head on his shoulders. He's a really friendly guy, and he treats you with respect.
Yes,
and that's what's really cool about Ben. He's a really cool guy. Him and his little.
Do you have specters in your house? Shut up. Okay, 1 second, folks. I got to set up the rest of the interview. 1 second. Yeah, we were having issues with okay, so the program I was using to record the conversation, and it cut out right there, so I recorded the rest of it on my digital recorder, and so I'm going to go ahead and play the rest of it for you here. Let's see. So, just checking the level. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the one thing I wanted to ask you guys at the gathering that I kind of didn't get to ask was being associated with a company like P13. Are you all worried about how it might look as far as people thinking, oh, maybe because they're associated with the movies, maybe we can't trust them, or anything to that effect?
Right, I understand. There's a paranormal community that they might have a few issues, but that's why Gary Jones wanted us to be part of the film. He wanted authentic equipment for certain situations in the movie. So when there's a paranormal group that goes into this type of situation, what would be the natural steps to take in order to get this type of evidence? What would a group do in order to achieve this type of feel and look, so it could be associated with an actual investigation? So that's why he really wanted us to come on with our equipment, so people in the paranormal community will understand, this is how it should be done. This is the type of equipment that would be used in order to get this type of evidence that they. So that's why he really wanted us on for the film.
Or even having like in the movie where like somebody's using a millimeter and it's like a realistic reading. It's not something you would never ever get.
Right, like it's not going to read a 22-point spike. I mean, it's going to read like a 2.0.
No.
It does happen. I mean, it does happen, but sometimes when it reaches those type of spikes, the milk can actually die. It can actually die. So
we were at a building in Mansfield. I kind of don't want to say the name of the building. I'll just say that it is the tallest structure in Mansfield, Ohio.
Okay.
And we were down in the basement. This is years like a year or so ago when I was with my former team, and we had a millimeter, and we got a reading of 124.7 milligauss.
Whoa! Like,
yeah, because we were right next to the like the generator, the electrical generator that powers the elevators. That's why the reading was so high. It wasn't like a supernatural thing. It's just a lot of natural EM in the air.
That is a lot right there. That's a huge reading.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that is technically unsafe to be down there for any length of time.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that if you have a reading like that, you know, people who's very sensitive to electrical fields and everything could probably feel like a presence or being uncomfortable around that type of energy, because that is a lot to be exposed to in one little area.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah. Let's see, what else? Oh, yes. There's certain questions I always like to ask people who come on my show. It's kind of like my general recipe for paranormal entertainment, I guess you could say. And
okay.
The first question is what was your most interesting paranormal experience?
Well, I think my most interesting paranormal experience would be the change on how I feel about paranormal investigations, physically and emotionally. When we did an investigation at Bobby Mackey's down in the basement, I had my millimeter on, and in the basement, it was like 67 degrees in the basement of Bobby Mackey's. And when I passed the refrigerator in the basement, if people know Bobby Mackey's, there is a refrigerator down there near the back of the basement. My millimeter would go to 77 point something, and it would only read that on my device. And every time I'd pass the refrigerator, I felt what I can describe as a dry heave / cold nervous feel. And not to sound like, you know, like a sissy or anything, but it made my hair stand up on my arms, and it actually was starting to make me tear up. I was actually tearing up because of the feel I had. And when I felt this, I left the site, and I went back, and I felt it again. So I actually had a few members of HTI, one by one, to come with me so they could witness what I'm going through. And I actually have a photo that one of our paranormal investigators named Sarah, she took of me because I have a flashlight pointed down to my arm. Mm-hmm. And I'm showing everyone what I'm feeling on my arm, and there's a huge orb that's on my arm. And that's the only picture that the orb actually was in. She took multiple photos, and I was the only one that had one. But ever since that feeling that I had at Bobby Mackey's, now that when I go into certain buildings or residences, when we do paranormal investigations, I tend to get that feeling again when something paranormal is about to happen. It's like it was like my turning point on being able to feel the presence of spirits. I really don't know if it's a good feeling. It's just that was something that I never felt before, and now I'm feeling that more and more, and it's something paranormal that's going on. Bobby Mackey's is no joke. I mean, never been there, whatever. I really don't recommend you going because you have heard about some life-changing occurrences that happened to other paranormal groups going there. But that was a turning point for me, and paranormal investigation-wise, on future events that we have. And it's crazy. I mean, it's just, I think what some people say also is that once you do paranormal investigations and you going and going and do this for a very long time, people say that you tend to get more sensitive to being in the spiritual world. And I think that, since I've been doing this for 15 years, I'm able to feel more of a presence when there is something of an activity that's going on. So I still get that feeling today. Even in my own home, I'll get that feeling. And there'll be some paranormal activity. So I say that was my turn point, and that was my most memorable in person during paranormal investigations.
Awesome. Was that by chance the same refrigerator that they saw that shadow figure behind and ghosted?
Yes, that is correct. Yes, that is correct. That's the reason why I wanted to go back there. I wanted to see if I can capture on video or picture-wise, of that same person, that shadow that's like working over to the side. I haven't had a video camera, pointing in that specific area just to see if we can capture it. Even though I didn't capture anything on video and I got that picture of that orb, but the feeling I had there, it's hard to describe, but that's where I can do it. A dry, heaving, cold feel makes me feel nervous, and I can't believe that I went through that. I mean, that was just amazing. I never saw it before. But yeah, that's the same spot where they saw that shadow figure in the basement.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, next question is, where do you go from here?
Well, where we go from here is that we always try to keep updated on our equipment, and we keep searching history. We keep on keeping updated on so many levels, on so many things, because paranormal has been booming here lately, and there's so many different pieces of equipment, and we try to keep updated. We keep, like right now I'm reading a book just on orbs alone. There's so much stuff to look for on orbs, and keeping up with different types of evidence and how to debunk it before you can even consider it paranormal. So we try to keep it we try to keep a professional level in our group. So from here on, we're just trying to get better and better and better at this and trying to get the answers that everyone is seeking, which is paranormal evidence. I mean, we're just trying to grow. We just got a new member right now added to the group. His name is Jonathan Myers. He's our demonologist. I mean, we need someone like that in our group. So we're trying to just get better in a professional level, so when we do more residential or historical sites, that we can go in there and be better at doing what we do, which is gather evidence. So we just keep rocking, man. We just got to do what we got to do to try to get the word out there that this stuff exists.
Right on. Okay, next question. This one I think I already know the answer to because I was there at the gathering, but for my listeners, I want to ask it anyways. What's your favorite location?
Favorite location, I would honestly have to probably say so far the Bisman building. And I'm only saying that because of the evidence we got and the feel I get there now. Last time I went to the Bisman building for Ben Bisman to do our T-shirts, I was drawn to this car, this Cadillac, that's in the shop. I mean, he has multiple cars. Have you been there before or not been there before?
Yeah, I've been
there.
He
has a lot of classical cars. And I had this feeling again around this Cadillac. I do believe it was a Cadillac that I never had before, and I've been there multiple times. And I told Ben Bisman, I'm like, there's something going on about the vehicle. There's something about this car. And he's the one that told me, yes, people have actually, that's the ghost car. People have snapped photos of someone sitting in that vehicle. Out of all the vehicles that was there, I was drawn to that car. So I feel like I have like a personal bond with the Bisman building because I think they're getting used to us being there. So I really love the Bisman building. I'd go and investigate there every weekend if he would let us. I mean, I love that place so much.
Yeah, I used to investigate there quite a bit when I was with my former team because they're the ones that host all the stuff there. And I know the exact car that you're talking about, and I know exactly what you're talking about. But I got to be honest with you, that wasn't the car I was really drawn to. For some reason, I was drawn a different way myself. There's a T-Bird there that immediately drew my attention.
Like how did it make you feel? Like when you went by that T-Bird?
Every time I went by there, I felt like I should get in and sit in the front seat.
Yeah, that's a personal attachment that might be, you're sensitive. You personally are sensitive to that type of spirit, maybe that or that car or whatever. Maybe it likes you, therefore drawing to you. I mean, it'd be great if there's someone, even Ben Bisman or whatever, that can actually give you more of a history to that vehicle to where you can make a connection on why you feel this way.
I don't know. Maybe I just got a weakness for Thunderbirds.
Hey, you know what? That could be too. I have a weakness for Cadillacs myself, so that could be the connection right there.
Yeah, everybody that goes to the Bisman building talks about Ruthie. And
yes.
What I discovered, what me and one of my former teammates discovered was that there is a dark, or rather I should say darker entity in the Bisman building that likes to pretend it's Ruthie.
We have a photo that we believe is Ruthie. I think I might even actually showed you that photo at the Paranormal Gathering.
Yes, you did. And I think that one is Ruthie. I do believe that because there's only one floor in that whole place that she stays away from. And I think you know the one I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, Ben Bisman has discussed where Ruthie goes and where she does not go.
For my listeners, she does not go on the third floor. Ever. You will never find Ruthie on the third floor. If you come across something that says it's Ruthie on the third floor, it is not Ruthie.
Isn't that not the floor with the shadow people?
Well, there's shadow people that we found all over the place, but yeah, there are more on that floor than anywhere else.
Yeah, I actually have a few photos that I did not show you at the gathering where we were actually packing up, and I was going up to the third floor to get the equipment that we had, and I was by myself, and right when I got up on the steps, on the last step, I felt very cold, like that same feeling I had at Bobby Mackey's. So I actually took a picture of my arm to show that I had that sensation again that I had at Bobby's. And then I snapped 4 photos in the room, and I actually have a photo of a face that's right near the ladder that he had standing up. That was literally right next to me. And I took another photo, and it was gone. And that feeling was gone after I took those photos. Just probably letting you know that, hey, we're still here, even though you're packing up. Yeah.
Yeah. The Bisman.
And I think I think I even showed you that one photo that we got. Eddie Adams, I think, took the photo of that one guy. He was just, sitting there by the table with his head leaning to the side, just having a lunch break, it looks like, with his legs cocked up on the table.
No, you didn't show that to me, but you told me about it.
Oh, man, I wish I would have showed you that photo. Maybe I'll I'll send it to your Facebook page or whatever, so you can actually see that photo. Yeah, it's just a photo of a guy sitting at the table with his feet tucked up on the table, just looking like he's having a lunch break before he has to go back to work.
Wow, that's awesome. So, any interesting places you guys are going to, like anytime soon? Like,
we are open to doing residential and historical sites. Right now, around this time is like our downtime.
right.
Only because, it's getting close to the holidays and, it's kind of hard to get the groups together because, Thanksgiving's coming up and Christmas and New Year's. So we're looking to pick back up like around February or March, and we'll probably get together with the group members and see if we want to go back to Prospect Place. We've been there like 4 times, seeing if we want to go anything, to get the gears going again. And we're always open to residential cases. We have a couple that we might be involved in here pretty soon, but like we have privacy clauses, and some of them sign the fact that, we can't display on who we are investigating, where it's located at, and their names and stuff. It's out of respect for their residences. Right. So, we're just, right now it's our downtime. So we're just gearing up for next year.
Right on, man. But yeah, there are some other places in Mansfield. A couple of them, my team hosts that we'd like to see you maybe come to in the future.
I've seen that you have one in December. I've seen that you posted something about $15 a person, whatever, at a place in Mansfield.
Yeah, the Mansfield Farm Museum. That place is crazy off the hook.
Yeah, we never been there. I mean, we were going to go there when we did the paranormal convention in Mansfield, but we were tagged for the business building and also the mortuary. So we always wanted to go there and to other few places in Mansfield. That's a very hot spot. Mansfield is a hot spot for historical paranormal sites. It's crazy.
Actually, I found that it is a hot spot for sure, but right here where I live in Barberton is just insane. It's just that it doesn't have all the, I hate to say hype, but hype that Mansfield does. Do you guys find any places like that up your way, where?
Oh yeah, we find spots like people will say, well, this place isn't haunted, or does it have no significant history of there being any paranormal activity, and we can go in there and we can come out with more evidence at that spot than a well-known paranormal haunted site. We have a lot of places around our area that's like untapped paranormal wise. Like just my house alone. I can't explain it, but like it's built just for my family. We are the only owners. House is built for us out in the country. We have history of the land back from 1868 on to where we built our home, and it's just farmland. So we get EVPs of kids, a woman talking, kids running around our house when no one's home, stuff moving around in our home. We get a smell of cigar smoke, and it's just crazy how you get that much activity on a home that doesn't have no history. And it's mind-boggling when you look back on the history of the land, and the only thing you can come up with is farm use. So what has happened just in our location is beyond me, but it's just crazy how you can just go to someone's home and just get so much evidence and data on paranormal findings. I mean, paranormal is everywhere, whether you sense it or don't sense it or whatnot. It's everywhere, and my home is a prime example of that.
Oh, for sure. Everywhere is.
Yes.
everywhere is because, and I know exactly what you're talking about with that too. Because my apartment is haunted, but and a lot of my friends live in haunted houses, especially in this area because a lot of the buildings are really, really old. But I've been in a couple places where the activity like predates the structure that we're in. But I like to remind people that researching history only gets you so far because at some point there is no written history for whatever happened there.
Right, exactly. Not everything is documented or recorded.
Exactly. But it is really cool when it all like coincides with each other too. Where you have the documentation and then like all the activity is lining up with what the documentation says. That's awesome.
And I really like it when we bring skeptics along that doesn't believe in this, and then all of a sudden something happens to them, and then all of a sudden they become a believer. They have a different look that, this physical world that we live in, that this is just not it. There's more to it than this. And that's also like rewarding to be able to open someone's eyes that, this is not it. We're not here and this is it. I mean, there's more to life. There's more to our environment that we know about. And I love doing that, bringing people in and showing them that, this stuff does happen. This stuff does exist. Some might be good, some might be bad, but, open up people's eyes to the paranormal realm and changing their look on life. Pretty good, I like that. And that's very rewarding.
Yeah, that is by far the best feeling in the world is turning people into believers. I always say on my show, I can't change anybody's mind for them. All I can do is state my opinions and show what EVP evidence that we've captured and hope that if it hasn't changed your mind, maybe it's opened it just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we like to do for people. I mean, I remember when we went to the prison building again, they had this one guy, he looks like he came straight from UFC. I mean, he was a big, buff dude. Nothing bothering him or whatever. And we weren't even done setting up equipment for the investigation for the lockdown that night. And this guy said, I'm out. I'm done. This is too much for me. And, all big and buff and walking out like, where you going, man? We haven't started yet. I'm out. Just, nope, can't handle it.
Yeah, but it always seems like the really big buff dudes are the ones who get scared the easiest.
I know it's crazy because they're like, I'm big, I'm bad, and it's like, and they run away. That's crazy. Like, where you going, man? And we had that happen before.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
So, do you guys do like a lot of conventions and stuff, or was this kind of like your first time?
This is our first paranormal gathering, just to gather and just share stories and whatnot. And I really love Nora for putting that on. That was awesome.
Yeah,
it went pretty good.
Definitely, I got to say that for our listeners, Miss Nora Custer took it upon herself to basically put together this whole thing, and it was actually a pretty big deal, for what it was. Is the Ohio Paranormal Gathering was just insanely well put together.
And because of that, that's why this interview is going on today with you and me. And I met a lot of great people. Glider, he was cool. I like that dude.
Yeah, yeah, Glider was awesome. Uh, and to explain a little bit about Glider, Glider is, well, he's in a wheelchair. Um, I would never, insult the man by calling him handicapped because I don't believe in that. But he is, bound to a wheelchair, unfortunately. But he does not let that stop him at all, which I personally think is absolutely crazy awesome.
Yeah, it opened up my eyes because I never thought, I know it never crossed my mind on being on so many paranormal investigations. I never stopped to look. Yeah, these places aren't really put together for people who want to do paranormal investigations, who unfortunately is in a wheelchair and they want to be part of this paranormal community. And that just really opened up my eyes, and I have mad respect for Glider. He's a really cool dude, and I hope one day that maybe I can get in contact with him or whatever, and we as HPI or whatever can do something with him, because he's a good dude. I mean, he's in a wheelchair, and that does not stop him to do what he loves to do, and that's just so awesome.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's what was really cool is like his whole purpose for being there was to bring awareness, but it wasn't even just for himself, and it wasn't even just for people in wheelchairs. It was for anybody that has a physical, I guess you could say, disability, I guess, that wants to be a part of our community, wants to investigate, but the things aren't really accessible for them, so they kind of got to back off. And that sucks, but it is what it is, and he doesn't let that stop him, which personally I think is just insanely awesome.
I know. I mean, that's just it's crazy how someone who's like that can actually keep going and not let something that basically confines them to just certain abilities to do something, and be able to overcome that and still do what he loves to do, and not let that certain issue stop him. That's just, I was blown away. That's just great for someone to be able to do that and still do what they love, and don't let something like that stop him on his personal achievements in life. That's just amazing to me.
Yeah, and it's like I told him, during my little speech, I guess you could say, I invited him to the Mansfield Farm Museum because it's really accessible, which I think every location should strive to be. I mean, I know, like with a lot of the more historical buildings, sometimes that's hard because they don't want to change all that much, but you kind of have to change with the times, anyways. And I really support what he was trying to do with Teresa Argy. I mean, I thought it was just really cool.
Yeah, I bought a T-shirt from him. He was a really cool guy.
Yeah, for sure. Well, everybody there was really cool, but I loved everybody there. I think the greatest thing about the Ohio Paranormal Gathering was that I pretty much made friends for life at that gathering. Between you guys and Living Dead Paranormal and Kristen and Shannon, the historians, from Brown Ella and the Ohio Reformatory, and and just pretty much everyone there. It was a really cool thing, because most of the conventions I've been to that are paranormal related, they have like these big, like, superstar kind of celebrity paranormal types like Ghost Adventures or somebody, and you don't really get to talk to them so much, but this is different because we were all on equal footing.
Yeah, that's correct. And I just love the fact that, such an event can take place and in the paranormal community, an event like this can take place and everyone becomes friends. No one's there to really show anyone up. It's all a respectful thing. And we're all got together. We all exchange, networks and cards and information. No one was I'm better than you or whatnot. I like that. Those type of conventions are great when everyone is there as, like you said, like on equal ground. They're having fun, and I hope that Nora does this again next year because HPI wants to come back and do this every time that she puts it on. I mean, it was a great event, and it can only get bigger and better.
Yeah, actually, there's a survey that she put out for people that were there.
Yes.
I guess it's designed to help her decide if she wants to do it again. But here's the thing. I'm already trying to help her find a location to host for next year.
I've seen you put something on there about a new location, like the investigation can take place at the event of the gathering. I think you posted something like that.
Not exactly in the same building, but like the building itself is like a block away. So you could literally walk there from where the event would actually take place. And
that's very convenient.
Yeah, the location I'm talking about that I'm trying to get information on is called Lake Anna Hall. It's they host like weddings and corporate stuff like all the time, and it's right here in where I live in Barberton, right next to Lake Anna, and literally, I think like a block, maybe a block and a half down the street is where Alexander Commons is. Which,
nice.
You heard me all sorts of braggadocious about Alexander Commons because that place is crazy. It is really awesome. And
I hope maybe next gathering that's where it'll take place.
Well,
and we will be there.
I think wherever it takes place, it'll be awesome. And I'm going to try. I don't know about you. I can't speak for anybody else, but personally, myself and Ghostville Paranormal, we are going to do our best to help Norm make it an even better event next year.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm all for helping. If she needs anything from us or whatever, I got. I love getting together and being able to do this every year.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be great, and every year to do this, just get bigger and better, and like have our own little personal event going on there. I really would like that. That would be great.
Absolutely. I think that would be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was such a cool thing. It really was so different from any other paranormal convention because, I'm not trying to say that, like the celebrity types like Zach Bagans or, Dave Schrader or Jason Hawes or anybody, looks down on the rest of us, but it kind of feels that way at those big events.
Yeah, this paranormal gathering, it felt more personal.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is our event. This is for us, and it felt better, it felt more loose. So they didn't feel like uptight. Like they had like that uptight feel. It felt like, you know, you can just go and walk up to anyone and just have a nice full conversation with them. You know, it's just, I like that. That's a good feeling to be able to just walk up to someone and just have a conversation with them where you have those huge, big events, paranormal gatherings where, you know, you got to hurry up and take a photo and say what you want to say and give me your $5 and walk away. You know, I'm just saying that it feels better to be part of a personal, like, gathering like that we had than the last, you know, I went to a paranormal gathering before, and I've been to a convention to where they had a lot of people there, a lot of celebrities, but like 2 hours later and after $150 spent, it just felt like, man, I would have loved it more if I was able to just go up to someone and just, you know, have a conversation with them and talk to them about personal experiences. And that's what this one was about. It seemed more personal. It seemed like a personal gathering, something that we all can just relax, use, and just share experiences and stuff. And that's just cool to me. And if it's on next year, you will definitely see us back next year.
Absolutely. We're no matter what, we're definitely going next year. And if I have anything to say about it, Go So Paranormal is going to be there in force, because like this year, it was really just me and my girl Nora for most of it, you know. So I'm hoping next year it's going to be like the whole team, and I've got like 10 people on my team, so that would be awesome.
Yeah, same thing for us. Same thing for us. A lot of our members couldn't make it due to work and other things like that. But next year, I'm hoping like the whole entire HPI crew can be there for the next event, wherever it takes place at. I want all of us to be there and mingle with the people and do this all over again. It's great. And now look, because of this gathering, like I said, here we are right now doing this. I mean, it only can get better until I meet cool people. And that's what happened here. And I really appreciate this interview with you, Jay.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate it too, man. You know, I haven't had the opportunity to have a lot of guests on my show. And, you know, people that listen to my show probably don't know this because, you know, I kind of crack jokes every once in a while. And I tend to look at the lighter side of things, but in reality, I'm kind of a shy person. I don't make a lot of friends normally. So, you know, the gathering was just a perfect opportunity to kind of break out of that shell, so to speak. And because I'm on equal footing with everybody there, there's nothing to hold me back. And, you know, I did my best to seize that opportunity. And I got to say, one thing that was really cool, I don't know if you noticed this, but I guess our name is kind of like getting out there as far as me and my group, because that gentleman, Michael, that he works with George Norrie from Coast to Coast.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember him, older gentleman.
I do know there's someone from Coast to Coast that was there, an older gentleman.
He came up and introduced himself to me before anybody even knew who I was, which kind of blew me away.
I bet you took a step back on that one, like, whoa, hey, what's going on?
I was like, how do you know me? Now, I was really shocked, and you know, I thought it was a really cool thing that he had heard, you know, about us from somebody. I'm guessing probably Nora, but still, it was a very cool thing, and it felt really welcoming right off the bat, you know, because of that.
Yeah, it gives you a good sense, you know, like, hey, we appreciate your work here in the paranormal community, and we know about you, and keep up the good work. So that's pretty good. That's awesome if someone came up to you and knew what you was doing. It makes you feel better about what you are doing, that someone actually recognizes that what you're doing is a good thing, and it makes you feel better, like, hey, someone's out there and someone's paying attention to us. That's a great feeling.
Exactly. You know, and it made me feel really good. It really did. And I'm going to try and have him on my show at some point also. I want to get everybody that was there on my show. You know, it's kind of like you know, a big thank you for their part in the event.
I hope everyone who do come on your show, and I get to hear all they have to say. You know, this is actually the first ever radio interview that HPI has ever done. So this is also another breakthrough for us. So this is an honor, you know, and I hope to do this again, you know, and have more members on.
We would love to have like you and your whole team on this show, you know, and talk about whatever is new, you know, in your life and what big plans you might have and all that stuff. You know, we're very well, my whole network that my show's on it, as well as this show in particular, we're very supportive of everybody out there, and we always want to hear what from teams that maybe nobody else has heard of before, or you know, even though I had heard of you guys like a while back, you know, I really kind of relish the opportunity to have you on the show and you know, hear you speak about, you know, where you guys are at and all that stuff.
Well, you can get better, brother. This is the way, you know, that's what we like about this. You know, spreading the word, whether it's HPI or just in paranormal in general. And we would like to even do an investigation with other groups, and especially with you. You know, we would love to do that. You know, that's what's great about this community. We just all come together and we all do what we need to do, and it's great. And we would love to eventually one day, you know, be with you guys and do an investigation, or you guys come along with us and do an investigation, or any other group that's out there. You know, we're all in it for the same purpose, you know, same reason. And
actually, I had an idea. Many of my listeners know that I'm doing this new web series. We've got we've got 2 episodes out now on YouTube. Forgotten Ghost Towns, and the thing I really want to do is kind of focus in on ghost towns and places, other places that haven't really been done before. And I do know that there are some ghost towns up your way.
Ooh, that sounds interesting right now.
So,
and we know we're not that far from you.
Yeah, so maybe that's something we can do is have you guys on as guest investigators for an episode of Forgotten Ghost Towns.
It would be an honor. We would love to do that.
I think we'd love it too. Absolutely.
That sounds great. We need to get that together.
Absolutely.
That'd be great.
Absolutely. I agree there.
Oh, yeah.
See, I already got my creative juices flowing here, man.
And that's great. I mean, that's what this is about, right? You know, having brand new experiences and getting together with people and exchanging stories and creating new ones. And along the way, finding great evidence to show people that this stuff exists. I mean, it's a win-win.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Right on, man. Man, we've been at this for about an hour now, man, and I want to hear more.
I know. I wish that, you know, there was no time limit. I don't like working thirds, but you know, we can talk about paranormal all night long, and it doesn't get old.
Yeah, I know it. Well, we are definitely going to have you back on the show.
And I'll love feedback.
And thank you so much for doing this. This is really awesome, you know. Next time I'd like to figure out a way to, you know, maybe have you call in live to the show and have you answer questions from our listeners.
Yeah, I would love that. That would be great. I love that. That would be, you know, I'm shocked. You know, that's great, man. I would love to do that one day.
Definitely will.
I would love that.
But either way, I'm definitely going to get you back on the show for sure. You know, you and everybody else that was there is just such a joy to talk with, you know. And it's easy because we're all after the same thing, really, like you said. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's like breaking the ice before you even have to say a word.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. You have to, start out with that normal, so why are you here? Already we are, while we're together and we can just walk up and just start talking.
Yeah, I'm so happy that, Nora did this, and I think that, honestly, it's going to snowball from this point, and it's going to end up being a yearly thing. And I don't think it's going to be all Nora next year. I think more and more people are going to get involved.
We would love to help her out as much as possible, take the weight off her shoulders, and make this event bigger and better every single year. And we really do appreciate Nora doing this. Her putting her foot down and starting something like this, something very special. And just like you said, it'll have a snowball effect, and everyone will just come together and have a great time. And we really love Nora for doing this. It was a great event, and my hat off to her, man. She's great. She's a very great person in order to do something like this, to put something on for us to get together. And I just hope that it will keep continuing on, and we will be a part of it every single time she does this, or anyone does anything in the community. We would love to be a part of, just to get together, just like we did last week, and hopefully, like you said, snowball effect, already, just for doing. And anything that you need from us, or whatever you need from us, we won't hesitate. We will do whatever that's asked of us, so we can make that event better and be on your radio show as often as you want us. And hopefully we can get together and record a nice bomb web series episode for you, and just create more memories, man. That's what we love.
I'm totally down with that. And thank you so much for being on my show once again. And one thing I'm trying to do with Nora, hopefully, is for next year. I don't know about you, but I like it to be a little earlier in the year, like maybe around September.
For the warm factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That was my one and only gripe. Was it was not warm. I mean, I really wanted to go on the investigations and stuff that she had after the event, and unfortunately, I couldn't anyway because we had to pick up our kids. But if it was like warmer, if we had an outside investigation or inside investigation, at least we won't have the cold factor to worry about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That was really, I think, the only gripe anyone really had.
It seemed like it was warmer outside than it was in the building.
Yeah, which was crazy because we had a fireplace going inside.
Yeah, we did. That thing was blazing, wasn't it? And yeah. I went outside and put the equipment up, and I'm like, man, I like it out here. This is warmer out here, and the wind was blowing and everything. So hopefully, if she has it next year, that maybe like a month or two prior to the gathering we had this year, so that we won't have to worry about trying to stay warm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, man. Well, thank you so much for doing this once again. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jose Amasquita II from HPI, Historic Paranormal Investigators. Gonna love to have you back, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right, bro. Thanks so much.
All right. Talk to you later.
Later.
All right, later.
Okay, and that was Jose Amasquita II from Historical Paranormal Investigators. Such a great dude. Really, really nice guy. And I love that he's from Ohio and he's Hispanic because it just seems so weird that, to have a Hispanic person like him from Ohio. I don't know. It seems weird to me. I thought Ohio was like, the other white meat. so, so it was really cool. No, he's a cool guy. He's a really cool guy, and it was really fun doing that interview with him. And I'm looking to do more interviews with all the folks from the Ohio Paranormal Gathering. Uh, I'd love to have even Teresa Argy on the show if I could find a way to get a hold of her. Such a great lady. For those that don't know, Teresa Argy was with the Haunted Housewives in the Waverly Hills episode of Paranormal Challenge, which I believe was episode 3, I think. And her team won the challenge, which is pretty awesome. But what personally has always stuck with me about her in that show is that she went down the death tunnel, which is like this really long tunnel that goes off the side of the building and down this hill because of the cold and because they felt it would like upset the patients inside the asylum. They made this tunnel so that when someone in the asylum passed away, they could cart the bodies down this long chute or tunnel down to a waiting hearse without any of the patients ever seeing it. And a lot of the claims in there are noise related and creep factor related. And what I mean by that is people always report like they'll walk down to the bottom or to be honest, most full grown men get creeped out inside this tunnel. So, but one thing they do report is if you make it down the tunnel and as you turn around to come back, it sounds like there's footsteps right behind you. And the entire time you're in there, you feel creeped out. And she went down there during Paranormal Challenge by herself. And she was absolutely fearless, and I thought that was awesome. So I would love to have her on the show. I'd love to have, you heard us talking about Nora Custer, who I found is actually a distant relative to General George Armstrong Custer, who, which is kind of funny because I'm actually related to the Blackfoot chief Yellowknife, who was at Little Bighorn and helped kill her relative. So I don't know, just kind of funny. But Nora Custer was the person who actually organized the whole Ohio Paranormal Gathering. She took it all on her own. She paid for the venue and everything out of her own pocket, which is absolutely amazing. So I'd love to have her on the show. Uh, love to have Living Dead Paranormal. A lot of you out there may know about them. They've done a lot of stuff for TV. They've been, I believe, on a few episodes of Ghost Adventures where they were like like in Ghost Adventures when they interview people and they'll like interview the normal host team. I think they've been on there a few times, but don't quote me on that. And you know, I'd love to have Glider on the show, whose real name is Adam. Uh, I'd love to have Adam on the show to help spread his message of awareness. I think that'd be a really cool thing. And oh, let's see geez, who else was there? There was HPI. There was Living Dead Paranormal. There was oh, I'd love to have Kristen and the historian and Shannon the historian both on my show. Kristen the historian is the director of the Galleon Historical Society in Galleon, Ohio, which is where the building Brownella Cottage is. And some of you out there may remember Brownella Cottage. It's been in an episode of My Ghost Story. Um, Really great historical location. And Shannon is the lead historian for the Ohio Reformatory in Mansfield, and they were really great at the event. They were talking about the importance of preserving these historical structures, and we even did like a raffle where uh, the pros. We had a raffle to raise proceeds, and then out of those proceeds, that money would go to a historical location that everybody would vote on, and everybody pretty much voted for Brownella Cottage, which is awesome. Um, so really looking forward to trying to get those two on here. Um, and I'm really excited about the opportunity to help possibly plan the next Ohio Paranormal Gathering. Um, because it was a really cool experience. It truly was, and you know, one of the best things about it actually was that it was kind of like an event just for us. There wasn't a lot of big celebrities there. Um, there wasn't a lot of you know big names in the paranormal to kind of draw away from what we were really there about. Probably the biggest celebrity we had there, honestly, was Teresa Argy, and that's only because she's been on TV. Of course, I think Living Dead Paranormal has as well, but and not to say that there's anything wrong with celebrity. It's just that if you go to like Scarefest or a lot of these big paranormal conventions, as Jose was saying, what happens a lot of the time is, yeah, it's cool. You get to meet, like Zach Bagans and Dave Schrader and all these people, but at the end of it, what have you really learned? You know, and So that's what made this so different and special is the fact that it was kind of by us for us in a way, and because it was like that, we got to learn about other teams and about how they do things, and it also gave me the opportunity as not only a paranormal investigator and the host of this show and the host of my own web series and all that stuff, but more importantly to me, anyways, as a Native American, to kind of like put out there and shine a light on the Native way of doing things to like all these other teams and paranormal people because uh, I think it needs to be done. I think that message needs to be out there because the Native way of doing all this, as I've said before, is because we are raised in such a way that allows us to believe that spirits are part of the natural world. We don't have fear about it. Even the things that you would think to be afraid of, we aren't really afraid of those because we understand that fear will just make it stronger. And we also realize that the things that you would be afraid of are rare. I mean, it's not every day you run into a demon. It's more often than not something pretending to be. Um, so, coming from that standpoint, I really wanted to get that message out there. So, maybe these groups won't be as afraid, or maybe they'll be more open to, our way of doing things. And if not, maybe they'll at least remember me and remember my team and remember that, who knows, maybe they'll be on an investigation and come across some native spirits and then think to call me and go, hey, Jay, we got some native spirits here. Can you come communicate with them for us? That kind of thing. And that was kind of like the whole point was to find a way to kind of collaborate with all these different people and find a common ground. And I think that mission was accomplished. And I'd like to say that Ms. Nora Custer was such an amazing person about the whole thing, and I don't even know that any of her other guests know this yet, but she paid for basically the whole venue herself out of pocket. She didn't make a dime on it. She did not make one red cent on the whole event. She paid for the whole thing, which was absolutely awesome that she would do that. And it speaks volumes to me personally about her character, and so I would definitely love to have her on the show. Um, let's see what else. You can anybody out there listening can go to Ohio Paranormal Gathering, all one word, Ohio Paranormal Gathering.com, and check out all the stuff from the event as far as she was there and everything. And you'll see us on there. You know, you'll be able to check everything out. We did do some investigations after the event that, as Zay said, he couldn't take part in, but we did go on one. They had two events really for or two ghost hunts after the event. One was at the Bisman Building, which I like the Bisman Building, but of course I didn't go. And the reason is that location is controlled by my former group, and we don't exactly mesh well uh, because of our history, I guess you could say, and I wouldn't want to cause an issue. So that plus I didn't have the money that it I would be charged to hunt there. So, not to mention our car would have never made it that far. Um, yeah, we have a bad car at the moment. Anyways, because of all those factors, of course, I didn't go. But we did go to one of the local kind of like locations. We went to the site of a train crash that happened in the 1950s, and really interesting thing. Well, quite a few really interesting things happened while we were there, but one that struck me and my team's co-founder and tech evil tech genius Darren. Uh, we both saw a figure cross the tracks. I mean, both saw it plain as day, which isn't all that unusual for me because, of course, I see them. Darren does see them too. Uh, I don't think quite on the level that I see them, but he does see things. So, it wasn't that out of the ordinary, but there was just something about it. And so we went to investigate it, and uh, Darren had a mag light in his hand, and it started going on and off uh, in answer to questions. And I thought it would be a good idea to use a spirit box. Only we don't have one. We don't have the budget to get a lot of that equipment yet. So, but Nora Custer had one, and I went to go see if we could use it. And so I missed a lot of the interaction that was going on with the flashlight, and I went to go see if I could use it, and they were already using it because we had like two groups of people that kind of split up into two different areas, and they were using it, and they had come across a spirit that was killed on or very close to the property that was associated with witch trials. So we're talking like mid to late 1700s. On this piece of property long before this train wreck. And so I was listening in on all that, and then Darren came back up, and he's like, well, we found out that this guy was killed by the mob and dumped there, which we know that, this area uh, was mob turf at one point. Um, it was a mafia town, and so it was a very interesting experience overall. And then after that little investigation, we went up there to and this was all in Atwater, Ohio, which is about 20, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, okay, about 40 minutes east of us. And so we went to this graveyard right next to the Atwater Historical Museum, and wow, um, I saw personally a lot of Native American spirits on and around the property. Um, and what was interesting is there was only one spirit in the graveyard that was buried there that was native, and it was this woman. But there were soldiers and everything from the French and Indian War, the American Revolution, all the way up to the Civil War, buried in this place. And quite a few people saw a soldier by this one mausoleum, or even those that didn't see it felt very uncomfortable around that mausoleum, which was interesting. And then, all the evidence we were collecting, in combination with all that was just awesome. It was an awesome investigation, awesome night altogether. And personally, I cannot wait for next year. So, yeah, you got to hear the first of many interviews, I am hoping, tonight. I wish we had more people in chat, but, that happens, I guess. Um, I do hope that, everyone that I got to meet at this event are my friends for quite a long time. And I'm going to do my best to make that so. Uh, you know, so there's that. Okay, continuing on. Uh, One thing I wanted to kind of talk about here in this second hour is our web series. The first two episodes, well, the first episode has been out for, I think, like a week or two now. And the second one, uh, well, I put out and then I had to delete it off of Facebook because I realized that there was a problem with it. And I wanted to fix it before, I put it out. I'm kind of a perfectionist, I guess, like that. So I'm working on that again. I actually finished it, and I'm trying to post it to YouTube as we speak, but it's not posting for some reason. So I have to figure that out. But episode two is coming out, and episode two is going to be really interesting because it's going to be definitely unlike any other episode we're probably ever going to do again. In that it's all old footage, and it's not all from one investigation. It's all kind of pieced together, and but it is all from the Mansfield Farm Museum. And welcome, guest 8688. Good to see you. Uh, but yeah, so it's all from the Mansfield Farm Museum. It's from different investigations that we've done uh, over probably like the past 5 months or so. And I do a little like commentary on things, but I've been trying to find like a voiceover uh, type program, but I am on my computer is a Chromebook. Okay, and for those out there that don't know what Chromebook is, it's it's like a little laptop, but it doesn't have Windows or the Mac operating system. It's got its own operating system that is powered by Chrome, as in Google. And what's good about it is it prevents a lot of viruses from getting in because you can't really download anything. And the bad thing is you can't like download things such as Skype or uh, you know like a voiceover kind of program. So I've been looking for something compatible with Chromebook. I just haven't found anything that works. So what I did instead is like I'll turn my camcorder on and I'll film myself and I'll talk about what's about to happen, and then you'll see the following footage. And I don't plan on doing that ever again. Um, so yeah, there's that. But all in all, and it's a shorter episode. It's only about 38, 39 minutes long. And most of our episodes are going to be between 45 minutes to 2 hours. Uh, at least I hope. And so it's shorter. But I think it's good. A lot of really cool stuff happened while we were there. I caught some amazing stuff I know on camcorder, um, and it was a part of the footage was an investigation where Mr. Bobby Shook, who's an honorary member of Ghost of Paranormal, as well as a good friend to us, and is also the president of the board for the Mansfield Fire Department Museum. Uh, his dog, uh, Maddie, we were actually using her in this particular investigation, and it was awesome. Like the way she was reacting when she wasn't, begging for attention was really cool. And I didn't really notice it before, but there's like one part where I'm looking in this kind of like display of like an old 1950s soda fountain or a soda shop, and I'm looking back towards this old telephone booth, and I pick up a disembodied noise somewhere, and I never noticed it before until I was piecing this episode together. So really cool. Yeah, I'm hoping that the episodes get better and better because I'm hoping it's not just going to be me, holding the camera, and all you're seeing is what the camera I have sees. I'm hoping to get or find a camera operator to follow me around. So it gives our web series more of like a three-dimensional, uh, or not three-dimensional, but more of like a fully dimensional aspect. Like an actual uh, ghost show, I guess you could say. So if anybody out there is interested in being our camera operator, uh, and you have a camera, having your own camera would be very helpful, but not necessarily necessary. But if anybody at all is interested in being our camera operator or knows about operating a camcorder, you can contact me uh, here Wednesday nights in our chat room, or you can email me at ghostwolfj, all one word, ghostwolfj at gmail.com. Anyways, continuing on. Wow. Another thing, we are kind of taking a break right now until December 21st, mainly because of our transportation issues. But December 21st, we are hosting an event at the Mansfield Fire Department Museum on West 4th Street in Mansfield. And it's going to be awesome. It's $15 per person uh, for admission. Proceeds go to the preservation of the Mansfield Fire Museum, and some of it also will go, towards expenses. But we're straight up about that. We're not like other teams where we just say, oh yeah, it's going towards preservation, and then it doesn't. What we do is we split 50-50 with the location. So in this case, the fire museum will get half of whatever is raised. And then, well, actually, we're probably going to do more than half this time because it's more to raise awareness about the fire museum. But so it'll probably be like 60-40 or whatever. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But let's just say that they're going to get at least half of the proceeds, and the other half is going to go towards expenses and gas and to help us get better equipment so that A, we can do better events, and B, we can put out a better web series. Because the more equipment we have, the more we can show. Um, but like I said, we like to be upfront about all of it because we're not trying to fool anybody um, or anything of that nature. We're pretty honest people. So, anyways, so there's that. But until in the meantime, and other than that, we're kind of taking a break. Probably until the weather gets warmer, and by then, I'm hoping if everything goes right, Forgotten Ghost Towns will have its actual very first episode inside a ghost town, and I'm doing my best to make sure that that happens. We as soon as we get a new car and the weather permits, we're going to film episode 3 in a ghost town. Most likely, it's going to be a ghost town called Old Town. That's OHL Town. Uh, right here in Ohio. It's about a little over an hour east of here. It's actually pretty close to Youngstown, Ohio, and Ohio is not great at preserving its ghost towns. In fact, most of them, the buildings for the most part, aren't even there. Uh, the most you'll usually find is like maybe a piece of like support beam sticking out of the ground and a cellar hole is what most of these places have left. And you know, uh, so that part of it kind of sucks. But I'm more interested in like what activity can we capture there, and so that's what we're gonna start doing. We're gonna start focusing as much as we can on ghost towns uh, to get these episodes out to you. And it may be that we'll have like 2 or 3 episodes all in one ghost town because we're not going to edit any of the footage. So instead of showing you 6 to 8 hours worth of footage in all in one episode, we'll just split it up into 2 or 3 episodes and do it like that. But anyways, you know, it's uh, it's a very exciting proposition, regardless, because it. My whole goal for doing that is to kind of shine a light on places that have been ignored. And you would think everybody would investigate ghost towns. It's in the name, ghost town. But not very many people do or have. And so I kind of really want to shine a light on that, and that's why I'm doing this web series. And I do hope that maybe a network will see it and they'll like it and they'll pick it up. But if not, I'm okay with that too. As long as the word's getting out there. And yes, ideally, I would love to make money at this, but if I can't do it like that, I'll find another way to do it. Simple as that. Anyways, does anybody in chat have a question? If not, I'm just going to continue on with another topic. Okay, so recently we found, well, I'm not quite sure how to put this. We found a lot of creep factor, I guess you could say. We did an investigation. I've talked about it before on my show. Um, and this kind of like really big open field. And uh, it's right next to this hill. And on top of the hill used to be the original water tower for the city of Barberton. And along the hillside next to the open field is this big, thick wooded area. And I came across something there and I immediately recognized it. I didn't see it exactly as much as I felt it, but I definitely recognized the feeling because what I felt is something I never, ever, ever feel on an investigation ever. And I've been pretty much face to face with demons before, and they don't give me this feeling. The feeling I'm talking about is the absolute feeling of dread. Like if you take another step, you're dead. That feeling, which I never get. I mean, I am a pretty fearless guy. Um, but I did feel that in this one spot, and I knew exactly what it was. Because there's only one thing I know of that can give me that feeling, because I've come across it before. And people can call me crazy if they want to. They can say whatever they want, but it was a Wendigo. And for those that don't know, Wendigo is, well, the Native American legend of the Wendigo says that they are protectors of northern forests and that they are not necessarily good. They are very predatory and they attack human beings. Some legends say that they were once human beings themselves and became cannibalistic, uh, possessed by evil spirits until they changed. I don't exactly know which particular version to buy into, um, but I do know that there is something to the stories because it is the only thing I've ever come across that makes me feel that way. And we came across it in this place, and it seemed to me like there was more than one. And because of that fact, I named the place Wendigo Hill. But the part of the story I didn't really focus on when I did my episode of Howling After Dark about this was the fact in the middle of this field, somebody did basically a satanic ritual. And I don't want to get into the gory details, and trust me, they are gory. There was a sacrifice of a living thing made there, and I don't want to say what, because it'll just make me angry. But we've been running into that kind of situation a lot, and I don't know. It kind of makes me feel like wary, I guess you could say, when it comes to that place in particular. But it also makes me think that big things are about to happen for us, because it's kind of like we were tested and and came out of it unscathed. And I believe big things are going to happen for us. I think it's already starting. I think it really kind of like crested that hill, so to speak, at the Ohio Paranormal Gathering. I really do. I think that was the start of something huge, for not just for us, for everyone involved. I really do. But what I do know about the history of this land in particular is uh, as much of Ohio as this was Cherokee and Chippewa land. And I do know that somewhere close to this area, there was a shaman who was pissed off at the white settlers, and he cursed the land. And I don't know, I can't make my listeners believe in curses or whatever, but I do believe that that land is suffering from something, or at least it was. I think it needs to be cleansed, but I don't think it's suffering from a curse anymore. I think it was. I think whatever caused all that to happen is worn off personally, but that's just my personal theory. In any case, so yeah, I really think big things are about to happen for us, though. Like, I don't know, I just have that feeling. I think. Well, let me put it to you this way: a gentleman by the name of Michael, uh, when I was there, came up and introduced himself to me before anybody there even knew who I was. He knew who I was, and what's so amazing about this, I believe, is that Michael works with George Norrie from Coast to Coast, and it just told me that, hey, you know, you don't have to work so hard to get your name out there, because it already is. And for someone like that to know automatically not only who I am, but who Ghost Stuff Paranormal is huge. And I don't think, oh, people out there that know us and have uh, had kind of an adversarial relationship to us understand how big we are. I mean, George Norrie knows who we are. That's gigantic. That's kind of like you know, being a first year rookie in baseball and somebody like A-Rod knows your name, or being like a first time actor in a movie, and the person you're starring with who's been in 1,000,001 movies knows about all the Broadway stuff you did. It's huge. It is a big, big deal. And that was really just kind of awesome and kind of humbling all at the same time, because it's like, wow, we, we've kind of made it, you know? Yes, Becky, who is guest 8688, says, don't you typically go till 11? Yes, I do. Um, but anyway, so yeah, a really big deal. And you top onto that, like, all the just awesome, cool people and teams that we met there. And I can't speak for any of the other teams out there. I really can't. All I can say is that personally, when I left that place, I felt great about myself, and I felt like I was a part of something so much bigger than me, and even bigger than Ghostly Paranormal itself, which, quite honestly, is the biggest thing in my life for the most part. Uh, so I felt really good about it, and I felt like I made a lot of really cool friends. Like you heard me say in that interview, I don't make a lot of friends usually. I'm very not really shy, but I am very, like, I guess you could say, like, introverted. I keep a lot to myself, and it's not something personal or anything like that. It's just how I am, and but it doesn't afford me the opportunity to meet a lot of people. So, making all those friends was really a big thing for me, and it was really awesome, and I can't wait to see them all again, next year, or hopefully sooner. I hope I get to work with them all, uh, much much sooner, especially Jose and HPI, like we were talking about, doing some stuff together. That would be awesome. Absolutely. And all the people that weren't with teams there also, that were just there to kind of learn about it. They were awesome too. Like there was this mom and her little girl there, and the little girl was the one who wanted to learn about the paranormal, and so they just came in because it was open to the public, and that's one thing I'd like to see stay. So I'd like to figure out a way where more people are involved with this thing, and it doesn't have to be all Nora Custer doing it. Um, but at the same time, I'd like to keep it where it's kind of a free thing to the public. You know, um, because it'll help us, like, to raise awareness about all the issues, and you know m- perhaps make people feel comfortable about coming to a team like ours, or like HPI, or any of these other guys. When they have a a residential situation where, like, a ghost is haunting them, and maybe it'll make them feel more comfortable in coming forward about that. So I would like personally to see that happen. But regardless, uh, I don't think this is the last Ohio Paranormal Gathering. In fact, I think this was the first, and I think there's going to be many, many more. And I can say with some sureness that Ghost Wolf Paranormal and myself will be a big part of that. I think every time there is Ohio Paranormal Gathering, I think Ghost Wolf Paranormal is going to be there. I think HPI is going to be there. And, hopefully all of them that were there this year will be there. You know, Shannon and Kristen, the historians from the Ohio Reformatory, and Brownell Cottage, and you know, HPI, of course, and Living Dead Paranormal, and Adam Bonnet, aka Glider, and Teresa RG, who was amazing and actually asked me some good questions when it was my turn to speak. I really appreciated that, and just everybody that was there. It was such an amazing time, and I can't wait to do it all over again. I really can't. It's going to be awesome. In fact, it was so cool. I wish it was happening all over again, like tomorrow. Because I would so go. And it was just a really, really cool thing. Um, Hold on one second. I think I'm okay. Um, yeah, I saw something on Facebook, so I had to check it out real quick. Um, but I have just about 3 minutes left. I started late today, and I want to apologize about that. It was kind of a hectic day today. For the reasons I'm not going to go into. But it was kind of a hectic day today. I was up late last night, and I was awake, but I was just kind of killing time before the show, and I kind of spaced out. And when I looked up at the clock, it was like 10 minutes after 9, and I'm like, oh, damn. So I grabbed all my stuff and rushed downstairs, and, it sucks, but it happens. Um, but I think the important part of tonight, anyways, was done in the first hour. Getting that interview out there with Mr. Jose Amasquita from HPI. Such a cool dude, seriously, and really kind of humble. And I can't wait to get him back on the show. Next time I hope that I can get him on the show live, because I think it would be cool to just pack as many people as we can into our chat room and have him answer questions. But unfortunately, that was the one thing we couldn't do this time, because he had to work. Um, he works third shift, so it starts just about the time my show starts. So, um, yeah, so there's that. Anyways, there are some other things involving myself and Ghostful Paranormal. There, other irons in the fire, I guess you could say, that I don't want to announce just yet, but we'll definitely keep you guys updated about. Once I do announce them, it's going to kind of rock the world, or at least my part of it. And I think it'll be really good and really awesome. So yeah, there's that. Other than that, I ain't got much else to say except I want to thank everyone for tuning in. That all my listeners out there, I love you guys. You're part of my family, my pack, my tribe, and thank you so much. And don't forget to tune in next Wednesday, the same bat time on the same bat channel, or same Wolfie time, same Wolfie channel, for another edition of Howling After Dark. Until next time, peace out, my pack.